Hello everyone, I'm Subjit Roy welcoming you to 31st episode of mojo4industry development debate on best practices in operation and maintenance of transformers powered by Easun MR Tap Changers Private Limited. As we know, transformers are one of the most important components in the electricity grid, and best operation and maintenance practices are a must for the transformer to provide standard services for its entire designed life. We will discuss on best practices in operation and maintenance of transformers. Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, let me introduce you with our panelists for the day. Today we are joined by Mr. Kamalesh Kumar Mishra, Senior Manager Marketing, Easun MR. Welcome, Mr. Kamalesh. And very soon we'll be joining by Mr. Dilli Ganesh. He is the Senior Manager, Industry and Utility Business at Easun MR. So now to take the session forward, I will invite Mr. Kamalesh Kumar Mishra. So Mr. Kamalesh will talk about state-of-the-art on-load tap changers.
Actually, Easun MR basically located in Chennai. We are having more than 50 years experience in on-load tap changer. We are basically joint venture partner with Yamaha Germany, who has invented the tap changer, on-load tap changer basically. We should know, first of all, tap changer only component which only rotates within the transformer. Rest are statics like bushings, core, coil, everything. Tap changer is the only product which basically having an enormous component and it operates. While it is operating, definitely it is, the tap changer principle is very simple, make before break. So whatever tap changer you are there, while you are going to the next step, you have to make that, then only you have to break in the winding. Otherwise, transformer will fail. So to adjust, let us say to overcome that discontinuity, we use transition resistance. How basically transition resistance comes in the picture? We are basically creating a circulating current. You can see in the circuit very nicely it is explained. Step by step, you can see the left side circuit is there, representation. Right side, there is a contact movement will be there. And this particular tap changer is for M type. So more or less that this particular sequence basically applicable for all the type. Now we understand why maintenance is required. Whatever is moved, that a particular contact has been from left to right side, one side to another side. Basically, with the help of so many mechanisms, where what are the things are involved, springs involved, braided means that is copper braid is required, screw connection, energy accumulator. So there are many components, mechanical components are there, which basically helps to move the tap changer from one tap to another tap. And this particular component has to be very, very precise. Otherwise, we could not able to complete the operation in milliseconds. If it is going to be prolonged, what will happen? As we see in the previous slide, we used transition resistance. So if we are going to prolong this operation, the resistance will get melted and automatically the operation will be incomplete and the circuit will be open circuit. In general, if the engineer in field is not having enough training on it, enough knowledge about it, definitely they are not going to aware how many operations after it's supposed to be replaced or maintained. That is whole thing here. Why you supposed to be. So this particular context only comes in the picture where you have to remove, where you have to replace, where you have to maintain. And what is the contact size? What is the size supposed to be there and to replace? So once you have a number of operations completed, you have to change the contacts or you have to maintain basically. And why you have to do, as you know very well, since there is a opening and closing are happening within the aisle, there is always the arcing happening within the aisle, there is a fire, there is a different chemical composition happens, and slowly this contact get deteriorated. Contact we are depend upon, we are characteristic of the contact materials, number of operations, operating current of the transformer. That is most important basically. At what current and what kV, what is the transformer ratings you are using at a particular time. And definitely it depends upon if any engineer went there, what they're supposed to see. Each and every contactor has to be measured with vernier calipers, and they have to check the contact surface so that it should not bounce. It has to be checked very theoretically, and it can be checked only with a trained service engineer. That we should not forget actually, because anybody can say, yes, I am a service engineer, but we should not take risk about your transformer. Transformers are in crores. So we should not allow anybody just to touch the transformer, touch your OLTC to do a service. Only use your expertise service engineers. See, these tap changer basically perform some of the operations. You can see the aisle of the tap changer basically very black. You can see here totally black. So by that, what happens? There are two things. One, the aisle get black, which means the BDV of the aisle basically reduced, which means insulation also reduced. Another one, you have lot of materials basically from the contacts, which is basically deposited. So in between your contacts or below the diverter switch, that has to be removed. How it is will be removed? We have to open the diverter switch here and open the cover, remove the diverter switch carefully, and then next procedure will follow. You can see there is a huge sledge in the bottom. So that aisle has to be removed. And most important, you can see here that the cleaning has to be done by a good transformer aisle. It should not be done with some water or anything like biodial or whatever. We should only wash with the good aisle so that insulation level remain good. How you are going to do? In most of the people you may have experienced, I think some of the engineers who is basically not trained, they just lift the diverter. I will go previous slide. They will lift the diverter, simply wash with the oil, and they think this is maintenance done. No, this is not a maintenance. Yeah, of course, you can do some extent, 10% maybe, because if you are removing the old oil and adding new oil, it is good. Good for the tap changer insulation is good. You remove some of the particles, but that is not the maintenance. It is not going to last long. Again, you have to follow the following things like what it is followed here. You have to remove the cell, and only it can be removed by the expertise person who having a good expertise, who's having a trained at factory, trained at site, different circumstances. Now you can see the fresh after cleaning each and everything. See, this particular cell is also having insulation material. It has to be cleaned. The contact has to be checked. If there is a screw loosened, all the screw has to be changed. There should not be the old screw should be available. It should be changed. The contact has to be changed. If contacts needs to be replaced, it should be replaced. Finally, the diverters, you are having basically a transition resistance. You can see there are 4 wires is coming. There you have to check the resistance also. That is called transition resistance. You have to check the connection, whether the connections are tight or not. The sparking gap is there. You can see in the sparking gap, whether I could be able to pointer here. You have to check this also. What is the distance, whether maintained or not. But the point is that is always what is the size? What are the torque level? Each and everything will be known by Easun MR tap changer only, by the Easun MR service engineer. Otherwise, if you are doing a less tightening, less torque, definitely either it is going to damage or it is going to loosen during operations. Cleaning has been done, nicely it has been cleaned, and each and every like braid, contact, everything, the screw has been removed. This kind of maintenance is required at site. It should not be like removing diverter and cleaning with the oil and put it back. No, that is not at all a maintenance. Maintenance has to be done thoroughly. Each and every component has to be inspected well. Finally, once cover will be closed, you can see the fresh oil will be put up inside. There is a red mark. where you need to air release, because that is most important thing. While you are putting the oil back, you have to air release screw, they are provided, and both on one on cover, another on suction pipe basically. Further ones, if you are having generally in electrical company, you always have a fuse. Here we are having a basically a protection called OSR, oil surge relay. This basically operates whenever you are having any issues in diverter switch. When there is a pressure buildup due to some issues like transition resistance or stuck up any kind of, our OSR get operated with the help of the oil flow towards, you can see here, I think whether it is visible or not, the arrow mark should be conservator side and it should be installed in proper way, and it should be tested whether it is connected to your breaker or not. Sometimes what happens, this OSR is not connected because the OSR needs to be connected to your circuit breaker, because this is the only you are having a protection device for tap changer. Our tap changer performing per day 500 to 600 per day operations in furnace duty applications. So in that case, we are suggesting to use oil filter unit. Oil filter unit basically remove the carbon particle from the tap changer oil, because whenever you operate the tap changer, there is a carbon particles happens, and contact size also get reduced slowly. Why you need to use this? Because once you are using, let us say you are having 30,000 maintenance free operation for tap changer, after that you have to do, if you are using this oil filter unit, it will be more or less double. So after 60,000 or 70,000 operations only you need to do a maintenance. So it is not too much costly. It is easily very much affordable. We suggest wherever you feel that number of tap change operation is going to be higher, we always suggest to use this oil filter unit. If you have any queries, you can write anytime to my mail ID and service@easunmr.com. We are having a network of service in each and every part of India. Our service peoples are available. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Kamalesh, for sharing very in-depth information on on-load tap changers. So, ladies and gentlemen, now our next speaker is Mr. Dilli Ganesh. Mr. Ganesh, we will talk and demonstrate about nitrogen injection-based fire prevention system.
This is the view of the NIFA system installed with the transformer. Since we are manufacturing the NIFA systems in India over the last 6 years, more than 5 years, and we have supplied more than 1,200 NIFA systems in India, and also almost 200 plus systems in the overseas, out of countries. See, this is the construction of the NIFA system equipped with the transformer. I'll go one by one. See, this is the part one. This is a major product which has nitrogen cubicles, nitrogen cylinders, and the complete operating system. The oil draining pipe and the nitrogen cylinders and NRV valves, right? See, there are two types of systems which we offer. The transformer which has less than 40 MVA capacity, where we have offered nitrogen cylinders of 50 kg 2. And the transformer which has an capacity of below 40 MVA, in that case we do offer a single cylinder which is quite enough to sustain to protect the transformer fire. And this is an advanced control unit. This is a unit which helps to, if there is some fire possibility in a transformer, this system, the sensor which we had fitted in the transformer, which gives a command to the system, and this system will be placed in the control room, and it gives a command to the field installed nitrogen cubicle systems to operate and to inject nitrogen. This is a control system which would have been placed in a control room. Also, there is in some cases, in some of the solar cases, वो बाहर भी रखना चाहता है, बाहर भी रखवा देता है. We have options for both. Either we can place inside or open atmosphere like this. See, the arrow which we have shown is a shutter valve. This is a shutter valve which would be placed very near to the conservator. It is placed between the conservator to the Buchholz relay, but in case of any fire incident, first we used to drain the 10% of transformer oil, and the conservator oil would be stopped by that itself using the shutter valve. See, see, our principle is based, our NFA system working is based on the arc relay, arc sensing based system, which is a very quickest system in India, which we have patented in the year of 2015. The existing जो भी system India में available है, it takes up to 180 to 200 milliseconds to operate a nitrogen system when it receives the command from the transformer protection relays. But the system which we are offering to you is the latest and it is an advanced patented technology, which is works based on the arc relay. And it predicts the fire possibilities within 10 milliseconds of time, which is the quickest one. Because in concern of fire protection, जितना जल्दी आप address करेंगे उतना transformer को save कर सकते हैं. Once the fire has occurred, then it never be stopped. Even nitrogen injection करेंगे, कुछ करेंगे, it never stop. See, there are 3 stages of protection we offer. One is that when there is a fire possibility in transformer, generally the fire starts from the arc. पहले तो arc चालू होगा and the arc become intensive arc, then it converted to fire. हमने arc को within 5 millisecond, within an average of 8 millisecond तक हमने ये arc को पकड़ लेते हैं and it gives a command to the breaker. This is a stage 1. So हमने initial stage में इसको पकड़ लेते हैं. This stage 1 where we predict the fire from the arc itself and we give the command to the breaker, but we do not inject nitrogen until it attains the stage 2. See, generally, we have predicting the fire in an early stage itself at the 5 to 8 millisecond of time. It should not convert into fire. It should not convert into fire. So, in that stage, in the stage 1, nitrogen injection करने के लिए जरूरत नहीं पड़ता है. So, if in some cases, अगर time extend, in some cases अगर arc relay भी activate हो गया है and fire भी accumulate हो गया है, in that case, it trips any of the transformer protection system. Then it reaches stage 2. In the case, arc sensor का command मिल गया है, plus any of the protection devices like Bucos or PRV or differential relay or earth fault relay, anything. If the arc sensor command plus any of the relay command attains, then there is a fire possibility. Then we do inject a nitrogen. Stage 1 and 2 attain होगा, then we do inject a nitrogen. In this case of prevention. The prevention, the case, there is a 2 kind of transformer fire accidents occurs. One is that the prevention. Prevention, the case जो transformer का अंदर है, वहां से अगर fire चालू होता है, then stage 1 and 2 will back up that. It is stage 3. Stage 3 is that if transformer का बाजू वाला transformer में fire हो गया है, so in and around atmosphere में fire हो गया है, so वो transformer का अंदर आना नहीं चाहिए. Transformer should not get into fire. In that case, the 0.3 back up that. ट्रांसफॉर्मर के बाहर से अगर ट्रांसफॉर्मर इंटरनल फायर होने के लिए अप्रोच करता है, in that case we have offered a linear heat detector. That is a very precise cable which is widely used in all the segments in India, and we are importing that from US. Once the fire ट्रांसफॉर्मर के बॉडी में टच होता है, हमने वहीं पकड़ के इसको तुरंत हमने once that fire sensor activates, then हमने नाइट्रोजन का इंजेक्शन करवा देते हैं. That is stage 3. And this is the sensor. This is the key product of our component. This is the key product of our system. It has been tested for whatever the queries we have, we can fulfill on this. Like we have tested for 150-degree temperature. Even though the transformer would not attain 150-degree at any cost, and it would have been tested based on the Indian queries. And it has been EMC tested, temperature tested, and IP67. We have tested for everything. And this is the position of the sensors in the real transformer. This is a real transformer image. It is a 100 MV transformer. And we are the only one in India. We are the only manufacturer in India who have tested our system in Yerda. Live testing we have conducted in Yerda. Like we have initiated a live arc in transformer, which would have been filled with dirt oil. And in that case, हमने इतना dirt oil हमने fill करके below 20 BDV हमने oil को fill करके हमने ये corner पे हमने arc को initiate किया है, दूसरा corner में arc sensors को पकड़ लिया. Within on the first shot it has been received a command at 4 millisecond and 7 millisecond and 6 millisecond. And average it activates within the 6 to 7 millisecond. And we have tested that in Yerda. No one else apart from the Easun MR have tested the system in Yerda live. And as I said, this is a live demonstration facility we have in our Pondicherry plant. and it has been lively tested by NTH. In our live demonstration facility, we have invited the NTH scientists to witness that. And we have a 24/7 installation service support. And we do offer the end-to-end solutions. If you are buying our NFA system, we do not say, sir, आप हमसे NFA system ले लीजिए, आप बाहर से एक welding वाला को बुला दीजिए, बाहर से filter machine बुला दीजिए, वैसा we do not make you in trouble. If you are coming with us, we do offer an end-to-end solution. We have an entire setup for that. We have almost 28 different teams, different crews working on it. Even we have taken an NOC from almost all the transformer manufacturing companies in India. Aux sensor fit karne mein, it does not affect the performance of the transformer. And almost we have approved in almost all the Indian state utilities and almost the NTPC, PGCL everywhere, almost also the central one. And CEA is the sole authority for the electrical safety. And they are also assured, they are also approved RMAC, our arc sensor based technology to install in the transformer.
So thank you, Mr. Ganesh, for sharing more details about arc sensors and as well as other fire prevention systems for transformers. At the same time, you have actually explained or rather demonstrated the capabilities of Easun MR in India and how they are providing services.
We are most keenly thankful to the team Mojo.
Right.
Yeah, we are taking the presentation at a different level, and we are the participation response is really good, which I'm seeing here.
So thank you, delegates, for attending the session. We hope you have enjoyed this 31st episode of Mojo for Industry Development debate on best practices in operation and maintenance of transformers, powered by Easun MR Tap Changers Private Limited.
For more updates, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the bell icon.